Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Business Live. Coming up in this bulletin, Energy and Green Transition Minister Jinapor announces return of global oil giants like Shell and Chevron to Ghana after review of laws covering the oil sector.
Production is increasing, investments are increasing. I just had a meeting with Chevron, Shell, they've signed an MOU. All the big boys are coming back to Ghana, and the investor appetite is growing up.
We will explore what this would mean for the country's upstream petroleum sector. Also in this bulletin, traders at the Odaw market plead with city authorities for a new drainage system as rains wreak havoc in Accra.
Whenever there's rain, we all get frightened.
It really affects us in a way that the rain even came into our shops.
The flood is affecting our business simply because when it rains, anytime it rains, it enters our shops.
We'll be live with Guta to ascertain what's in for affected traders during this period. Plus, Ghana Export Promotion Authority targets Ghana as a leading hub for agricultural sourcing.
Export space is about meeting standards and being compliant with some of these things. So you need to show capacity in that as well. Capacity in packaging, capacity in certification, because you can't do export without certification.
We have details of these and more for you. Please stay.
Business Live on Joy News is brought to you by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, and Telecel, connecting energies.
Glad you could make time to join us. I am Pious, Kojo, Backah. Let's begin from the upstream sector because the Energy and Green Transition Minister Jinapor has announced the return of global oil giants like Shell to Ghana's crude exploration space, and international oil players like ExxonMobil and Chevron were recently forced to freeze their entry to Ghana due to concerns about the country's oil investment laws. But speaking to investors in London, the minister revealed that all their concerns have been addressed to aid their entry.
So even as we are encouraging you to invest, we want to assure you that we are building a very robust environment, a business-friendly environment, so that there's certainty when you invest. And the results are beginning to show. Gas is increasing, oil production is increasing, investments are increasing. I just had a meeting with Chevron, Shell, they've signed an MOU. All the big boys are coming back to Ghana, and the investor appetite is growing up. In the downstream sector, we've undertaken a lot of reforms, and Bost and other people will be talking, so I don't want to belabor the point. But we need a lot of investment to ensure that we have oil supply reliability. Following the Iran-US war, you might have observed that a lot of countries are going through very turbulent moments. In fact, in some countries, the products are not even available, let alone price it. In Ghana, we provided a subsidy of 2 cedi on every liter of diesel for 1 month. After 1 month, we decided that we'll do 1 cedi. We'll provide the subsidy, but we'll do that in a meticulous manner, not to create debt. And like I always say, if you subsidize, pay for it. We've learned our lessons.
All right, so let's broaden the conversation further. Joining us via Zoom is the Executive Director for the Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy, Benjamin Isia. Thank you very much, Benjamin, for making time to join us here on Business Live. And I've heard critics say Ghana gave away too much to lure them back. Is this a good deal for the state, you would say?
I think there's no clarity and there's a lot of ambiguity with respect to these FDIs inflows from these IOCs that the minister mentioned. Because as we know, we are still reviewing our Petroleum Act. For that matter, the fiscal and regulatory framework
to hear Benjamin is here. So Benjamin, kindly rejoin us once more for us to have a better connection with you. We are trying hard to make sense of what you're saying. All right, so I'm told it's better now. So Benjamin, kindly make your point once more.
There's some form of ambiguity with respect to the fiscal and regulatory framework within which the ministry was able to attract these FDIs. And until we get this clarity explained in amended Petroleum Act, I think that we need to relax our expectations with respect to these inflows that the minister mentioned.
And if this clarity you are demanding is given, granted if it's signed today, how long before exploration or appraisal and even production would take place? Are we looking at 5 years, 8 years or more?
It is likely going to be between 4 and then 8 years, depending on the capacities of these IOCs to mobilize funds from their investors within the shortest possible time. It also depends on the preparatory works by regulatory institutions in Ghana to anchor them within the upstream space. So it's likely going to be 4 years for exploration, and then maybe drilling to see whether they could appraise these wells and then determine commerciality probably by the next 5 or 6 years. So it is not going to be just the next 3 years or 4 years. It's likely going to take time for us to recover production which has been stalled for some time now.
And what will this mean for our upstream sector?
As we always say, which means revenue flows will increase, fiscal space will get more revenue to be able to embark on various government projects. Local economies will be boosted. 3, foreign direct investment will be attracted, because what it means is that that sector is becoming very buoyant and very attractive for to IOCs. 4, we are also likely going to get some risk capacitation of local businesses or local investors who may want to engage or provide some services for these IOCs. So it brings a lot in terms of growth of our economy and some aspects on development that is likely also going to be experienced through revenues mobilized from these sectors.
And Benjamin, you would agree with me that Ghana has a gas deficit for power and industry, right? Will Shell or Chevron deals prioritize gas development for domestic use, or it's crude for export only? Too bad, it seems we've lost Benjamin Insia. He was making a point on the back of that latest development by the Minister for Energy and Green Transition announcing the incoming of some IOCs into the country's upstream sector. As and when we have him, we shall bring him on to conclude that point for us. But let's move on to some other stories. The Ghana Export Promotion Authority says it is positioning the country as a leading destination for sourcing agricultural produce. Agriculture contributed about $710 million out of the $5 billion earned from Ghana's non-traditional export, highlighting its growing role in the country's export performance. The head of agribusiness at the authority, Fred Asante Omani, says Ghanaian agribusinesses must become export-ready to fully take advantage of global market opportunities. He made the remarks on the Super Morning Show as part of Joy Business Agribusiness Month.
That the export space is about meeting standards and being compliant with some of these things. So you need to show capacity in that as well. Capacity in packaging, capacity in certifications, because you can't do export without certifications. So if you're a cottage industry, I mean, the basic certificate you should be able to have for your products, like FDA, GSC, PPRC for the fresh and all of that. You need to be export ready. Then you can be part of the...
And do you facilitate and help build capacity of businesses to do these things?
Exactly. Like I mentioned in my earlier rendition, that we have the GEPA Export School that trains people. I mean, we build the capacity of potential exporters. If you want to do export, you come to GEPA and register, you go through the export school and get the basic rudiments of exports. I mean, everything there is basic. Because, exports is about getting the right information, the right trade-related information. If you don't have the right information, you are out. And the EU, for instance, the requirements keeps changing. So you need to be abreast with the current, requirements. So you'll be able to take advantage of the opportunities in the European market. So you need to build your capacity. You need to show capacity that you are now ready to export. Then we can take you on board.
Commissioner for Economic Affairs and Agriculture, Dr. Khalilou Salah, has called for a shift from fragmented agricultural products to a more coordinated and investment-driven food systems approach across West Africa. He made the call in Accra during a strategic far-side chat held on the sidelines of the ECOWAS Rice Investment Roundtable.
Strategic far-side chat held on the sidelines of the event, ECOWAS Commissioner for Economic Affairs and Agriculture, Dr. Khalilou Salah, stressed the urgent need to shift from fragmented agricultural interventions to coordinated investment-driven regional food systems.
For the bank, they train the bank, because sometimes people forget that the bank don't know what is going on in the agricultural sector. If you have money and you want to invest in the agricultural sector, even through the bank, you have a lot of issues because they don't know how it's works. So this is also one issue very important. How to make the sector know what is going on. Nigeria do that. Fund for the insurance of the bank to invest in agricultural sector, and in addition to that, the central bank set up one additional fund to secure the risk.
On her part, Regional Director for West Africa at AGRA, Natasha Quist, highlighted the importance of building investment-ready food systems anchored in strong partnerships between government, financial institutions, and the private sector.
Connecting those opportunities to capital, which was what our discussions have been about. Her third point is rice, as we've said before, is not just about rice. It's about farmers' prosperity, it's about job creation, it's about strengthening opportunities.
Director of the Soil Values Project at the International Fertilizer Development Center, Chawari Alain, underscored the importance of soil health management and data-driven agricultural practices as critical foundations for boosting productivity and attracting sustainable investment into rice production systems across West Africa.
We build long-term market systems, which is not just delivering inputs. It's to get something that is getting necessary fertilizer at the border of the farmers. So it's not a project, because when the project dies, all the initiatives also die with the project. That is why it's a program for 10 years, it's not a program for 2 years, and this is very, very important for a long-term development program. Secondly, so in practice, we will not just train farmers, but giving them capacity.
The discussions form part of broader engagement under the ECOWAS Rice Investment Roundtable, which seeks to reposition West Africa as an integrated and investable food system economy rather than a fragmented set of national markets.
This is still Business Life. We have more for you after this break.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey, Abili, wabedim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind the ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account. 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't get played. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, please, I'm calling from Customer Experience Center.
The Did you know that Ghana currently spends more than 8 billion Ghana cedis annually importing food that can be produced locally? That is why this June, Joy Business and the Super Morning Show, in partnership with the Federation of Associations of Ghanaian Exporters, FAGE, bring you the Joy Agribusiness Month 2026 under the theme From Soil to Sovereignty, Building Ghana's Agricultural Self-Reliance Through Innovation. Join us on the Joy Super Morning Show, Joy News, and across Joy Business platforms for a month-long national conversation on Ghana's food security and agribusiness future. Week 1 focuses on government policy, trade and financing for food sovereignty. Week 2 explores research, innovation, mechanization. Week 3 examines infrastructure, value addition, youth participation, and agricultural financing, while Week 4 highlights opportunities across key horticulture value chains. The final week looks at consumer power and Ghana's roadmap to food sovereignty by 2030. Stay tuned to Joy FM and Joy News.
Hello again, welcome back to Business Live. Some traders at the Odaw market in Accra are appealing to city authorities to fix the area's broken drainage system, saying continuous rains would leave their stalls flooded and goods destroyed. The market located near the Odaw River is one of several low-lying areas in the capital, which was hit hard by yesterday's downpour. Here are some traders sharing their ordeal with Joy Business.
Whenever there's rain, we all get frightened because by the time you come, your shop will be filled or something will happen. So this morning, God's willing, when we got here, it wasn't as bad as we expected because the last time we did some mini demonstration on the street. So whoever the contractor is came with an excavator to drill the gutters. So the water couldn't overflow as before. From the down there, it overflow its banks, and if it can't go, it comes to our shops. This morning when I came, few things were wet. It wasn't like before, but I would say I'm grateful because few things were wet. But the people down there, everything of theirs was wet. So that is our problem.
It's really affected us in a way that the rain even came into our shops and it has flooded the whole shop. So right now, as you can see, we are cleaning our goods.
Because it's plastics, when you wash it, you can sell it. But sometimes things that we cannot wash it, you have to throw it away. More brooms and things that you cannot wash it to use it again, you have to throw it away. So always we have to put another money into the business, and we are not gaining anything.
The flood is affecting our business simply because when it rains, anytime it rains, it enters our shops. So, and most of the times we sell the new tires and then the old ones. So when they flooded, all the garbages comes here and then enter the shop, so it makes the tire dirty. So even when the customers comes out, it takes a very tough time for you to explain things to him for him to understand. We are hoping that they will do the project and they will do it quickly to alleviate flooding that is going on for quite long. Yes, that is our concern. In fact, the contractor, his job was not in perfection, simply because it's very slow. This stretch of land, it took about almost 1 year. So they are coming to.
I do apologize for the poor quality of sound at the latter part of that story. But Managing Director at Acacia Insurance, Araba Suminu, says the company's entry into the retail health insurance market is aimed at closing a major healthcare financing gap for individuals who are not covered by corporate health insurance schemes. Speaking at the launch of the company's new retail health insurance product, Eden Care, she notes that the initiative is designed to provide accessible and affordable healthcare protection while reducing the financial burden of medical expenses on individuals and families.
Shell Insurance says the introduction of Eden Care marks its first major move into the retail health insurance space after years of serving corporate clients and their employees. According to the managing director, Araba Asumanu, the product was developed to address the growing number of individuals who lack access to employer-sponsored health insurance and are often forced to pay significant out-of-pocket medical expenses.
What we are doing today at Acacia is because we identified a gap between what the employers offer us as employees and what individuals would want to have. Not everyone works in the corporate field and not everyone can be part of a corporate health insurance. And so we identify that there are people who have to cough up huge sums of money when they fall ill. And that health financing is a real issue. And so we thought of providing a product that would bridge the gap, a health insurance product, so that once you sign on to the health insurance plan, you can have access to healthcare in case the event happens.
Asumanu further noted that Eden Care differentiates itself through immediate access to cover, protection for chronic diseases, second medical opinion services, telemedicine support, and a strong emphasis on preventive healthcare and wellness programs.
What Eden Care offers is that unlike some retail health insurance products, you see that they offer you a policy and ask you to wait a number of months before the policy can kick off. With Eden Care, you sign up today, you start enjoying cover today. If you want to pay in installments, for instance, we may have to defer the start date. In addition to the no waiting period that we have, we cover chronic diseases. That is not something that is common in the markets. And then we also cover second medical opinion. I mean, who wouldn't want a second opinion for a diagnosis if you are not sure about that? Another thing that stands out for us is our wellness plan, our wellness and preventive plan. So we'd rather invest in your well-being than leave things for you to fall sick and then start utilizing the health insurance cover.
Acacia Insurance says the launch of Eden Care forms part of its strategy to deepen insurance penetration in Ghana by extending comprehensive healthcare coverage to individuals, families, and other groups outside the traditional corporate market.
Director of Special Operations at the National Security Council Secretariat, Richard Jakpa, is calling for urgent investment in irrigation infrastructure in the Upper West region, warning that failure to harness the area's agricultural potential is fueling youth migration and undermining local economic development. He argues that despite favorable conditions for vegetable production, the region continues to rely on imports from neighboring Burkina Faso and Niger, while many young people live in search of opportunities in southern Ghana. Rafiq Salam reports.
For 8 months of the year, the land in Upper West region goes silent. No crops, no work, and for many young people, no hope. Director of Special Operations at the National Security Council Secretariat, Richard Antoine Majakpa, says that silence is costing the region its future.
And we spent 8 months roaming around and drinking. And our youth taking aphrodisiacs, and they are on red drugs because they have nothing to do. So the devil will find something for them. And those are our future that we are losing.
Richard Jakpa says the iron is painful. While Upper West farms sit idle, the region imports vegetables from Burkina Faso and Niger.
The dam is very strategic. We cannot be in this region and be importing tomatoes from Burkina and importing onions from Niger. We have better climate here than their climate. Yet they supply with tomatoes and onions. And our lands are lying fallow.
The result, he says, is migration. Young men head south for illegal mining. Young girls are left behind.
So they will impregnate our young girls bring out children that they can't take care of, and the cycle continues.
But Richard Jakpa believes there is a fix: irrigation dams.
In this dry season, they will be farming vegetables. They will increase their livestock. There will be more money in their pocket. Poverty will be reduced. They will stay home, increase the population. And nowadays, population is commerce. Population is politics. You need the numbers and politics to be counted, to be relevant. So if we don't take strategic decisions and make strategic moves to invest in things that will move our district and region
in a generational input, so that generations to come will benefit, and we keep giving out handout monies to people each time we come here, we are not helping.
His message to Apo's indigents and government: act now before the opportunity closes.
It shouldn't be business as usual, where we acquire big degrees, we have big appointments, we sit in our offices, only come here, look at the poor people and go back. And then we go on retirement. No. This generation, we must begin to invest in strategic things that will move our communities in terms of generations unborn, so they can come to enjoy.
For Richard Antoine Majakpa, the choice is simple: invest in dams or keep losing a generation to 8 months of nothing. Reporting for Joy News, Rafik Salam, Isa.
Thanks so much for watching Business Life. I am Pious, Kojo Backah. For more stories, do log on to myjoyonline.com/business. Grateful serving you.
Business Live on Joy News was brought to you by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, and Telecel, connecting energies.
It's barely 1 year since our last visit to Sabonjida DA Basic School. The PTA chairman's embrace tells the story better than words ever could.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
People, we thank you very much. We thank you. We very appreciate your words.
A year ago, the people of Sabonjida were pleading for help. Their children squeezed into overcrowded classrooms. Kindergarten people learned in exposed spaces. Teachers struggled to stay. Parents worried that the future of their children were being built on neglect.
This is my head. This is my mouth.
Today, the community is finally beginning to see results.
Yeah, we like the progress that has happened.
We like you because of you that we are seeing this thing.
We are very, really very happy about your coming to this, our Sabonjida community. Since some people came here and it wasn't like you came, you did a lot. You deliver our problem to the government, and we have seen some progress going on.
Behind him stands the most visible sign of that progress. a 6-unit classroom block with offices, a library, store and sanitation facilities. The structure is still under construction, but for a community that spent years waiting for decent classrooms, even unfinished walls represent something powerful, a proof that their voices were heard.
The school is going on. They have come here and asked us, and they have continued our 6-unit classroom. We are very, 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 very happy. Our community is saying that you get our problem and you didn't sit on it. You send it up, and now it is working on your behalf.
Yes. 250. That's good. Canvas for him.
The intervention followed years of difficult learning conditions. 2 classes have to share a single classroom. One teacher often had to split attention between 2 different syllabi at the same time. For learners and teachers alike, concentration was always a challenge.
Looking at the number of learners and how we combine them is not helping teaching and learning. P3 and P4 are boxed together, which they are supposed to be separated. So sometimes you take something to teach. Once you are teaching P4 syllabus, the P3 learners are disadvantaged. And when you switch to the P3, the P4 ones are also disadvantaged there. So it's not really helping. If these classes are completed in good time and we move there, I think it will solve this situation. Oh yeah, we'll be very, very glad. We'll be very, very glad to move in there.
Is she correct? Yes! Give it to her. Yeah.
The impact of the changes is already becoming visible. School authorities say enrollment has risen sharply from about 125 pupils recorded in November 2024. The school now has more than 250 children enrolled. Many of the new admissions are in the lower primary classes. When the school ran out of space for its youngest learners, the Jesus is the Door Church opened its auditorium for classes during weekdays. The arrangement shields the children from the scorching sun and also keeps lessons going whenever it rains.
Here that the children are sitting, and now we have gotten some church, which is Jesus Door Church. And they accepted us to send the KG1, KG2, KG3 to that their block.
But the most remarkable response came from the community itself. Faced with no accommodation for teachers in the community, residents pooled their resources and started building a 4-bedroom teachers' quarters. For a community struggling to attract and retain teachers, a decent accommodation became a priority.
Community have seen what you have come to say to us, and we all contribute, and we have some money, a little, and we are putting teachers' bungalow, which is 4 bedrooms, and we wanted to put bathroom to the kitchen, also 1. We are on it that we will do that, and because what you have done, we will not sit down. We also say that when there is a lot of teachers, and when they come to our community, they don't have somewhere to sleep.
I'm staying with the PTA chairman's house. They had to move some children out of a room and offered me in that room. At the inconvenience of the family, about 3-4 children were in a room, and they had to move them out because of me. But thankfully, the community has started a project for the teachers, so which we hope that when completed, it will help us.
This program, supported by the Education Out Loud, is looking at enhancing citizens' ability to be able to engage duty bearers to open up spaces in terms of quality education delivery.
School for Life, the organization supporting citizen engagement through citizen-led action for educational accountability and responsiveness, Sabonjida demonstrates what can happen when communities move beyond complaints and become active participants in finding solutions.
The impact has been great. For the past couple of years that we have embarked on this project, significant progress has been made in terms of enhancing duty bearer responsiveness to the issues that the citizen groups have identified within their communities, the lack of infrastructure, the lack of teachers, the lack of teacher accommodation. These are the major issues affecting quality education delivery in the communities. And the citizen groups have been able to identify these gaps and bringing them to the attention of duty bearers at the local level for them to respond to. And across the project districts, you are witnessing progress in terms of responding to the infrastructure needs, in terms of teacher availability. We are seeing that there's progress. Our work, our collaborative work with these institutions would ensure that even after the project, the actions are still ongoing and that they are responding to the needs of these marginalized groups, based on the pressure that also the citizen groups will put on the local authorities.
We are very privileged for the School for Life. And this our community, what the School for Life is doing to us. Some of the children here, they have been, even they are now high SS, and some are even been to the university. And due to the School for Life in this Sabonjida, they have helped us a lot.
The transformation in Sabonjida is still a work in progress. The classrooms are not yet complete. The community is still pushing for more teachers and school feeding. But where there was once frustration, there is now momentum. Parents, teachers, community leaders and duty bearers are all playing a role in shaping a better learning environment for the children.
The narrative of pupils of Sabonjida DA Basic School having to learn in a poor infrastructure is gradually becoming a thing of the past, with the construction of the 6-unit classroom block for the community. The pupils and teachers are excited that this project will finish soon and give them hope to chase their dreams. Emmanuel Jivenu, Joy News, Sabonjida, Tatale Sangole District, Northern Region.